listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. You might be watching us in the LOZ app in the Podcast Network section, or you might be listening to us on KRMS Radio on Saturdays from 10 to 11 a.m. We love the collaboration we do with KRMS, and you can also listen to their stations in the app as well. With one tap, you're listening to all the different stations they have. But, every week we talk to different people around the lake, and I wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to, we do a lot with real estate, and we do a lot with different real estate agents. But something that I was kind of brought to my attention is there's now a generation of real estate agents that have their children joining the practice and, just some different kinds of working together with moms and dads and kids. And so today we've got Tammy Rosenthal and Nick Rosenthal from Frank Campbell Team Remax. Guys, how you doing?
Doing good.
Good.
So, I just thought it was kind of fun. I work with my son, Mitch, and so I think it's interesting when parents decide to work with their kids, or kids decide to work with their parents, I should say, and kind of, it's different than home life, right? So you have a little different dynamic going on. First of all, the biggest question everybody wants to know is, Nick, do you call her mom at work, or do you call her Tammy?
I call her mom. It's hard to break that, so it's...
And everybody's different. I know that it's funny because my son calls me Ken, and I don't even respond to him because it doesn't sound right to me. But Tammy, how has it been for you, and how long has Nick been with you guys?
So Nick just got his license in January, so it's been just a few months, and so he's still in the learning phase. And trust me, there's a lot to learn in real estate. So. Yeah.
And the learning phase has been around for years, though, right? I mean, he's seen you working quite a lot of years in real estate. And, Nick, do you have a new appreciation for kind of what your mom's been doing for, all these years?
I do. I didn't know the extent to what it was. I thought it was a bit, but now I'm realizing it's a whole lot more than that.
It's a whole lot more than just showing a home, right?
Correct.
Tammy, when you decided to have Nick come join you guys over at Remax, is that something that you talked about beforehand, or did this just kind of come about in just like the part of life where it's like, hey, I'll try that?
So we had kind of talked back and forth a little bit, and he waffled back and forth. And honestly, it's not really what he wanted to do, but he's given it a try. So, yeah.
Sometimes that's how we get into what we do. I mean, sometimes it's just like, you know what, it's here, it's an opportunity, it's waiting. And it sounds to me, Nick, like you jumped in with both feet, though, because you've already, as I was talking to you off the air, you've already had a couple listings, right?
Correct. I've had 2 closed, and I've got 3 on the market right now. So,
holy cow, that's a big jump from just getting into business in January. So that's a good launching pad. So you've already closed 2 deals under your as you got into business.
Correct. I just had a closing today, actually. So that was
congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations. So, I mean, give me a little behind the scenes of the excitement, Mom, when your son closes a property and you've been kind of working with him and trying to get him there and making sure that all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. It's kind of fun, isn't it?
It is kind of fun. It's really exciting. And he likes to do something that most people don't like to do, or, well, I don't know if he likes it, but he doesn't mind it. He is really good at cold calling. And so he will sit at home in the evening and he'll call these people, and just hearing the words come out of his mouth, I'm like, I don't know where he learns that, but he sounds really good, and it just makes my heart happy.
Yeah, it's kind of fun when, you all of a sudden you kind of find your stride and you can, you're out there prospecting. And look, we know how hard that is. I mean, everyone who's been in business knows that business is not easy, and it's not easy to come by clients, and it's not easy to, to win. And so it takes time and effort and energy. And I know it's got to make you happy that he's spending his evenings cold calling, because certainly, there's a lot of the things you could be doing.
Right. Definitely.
So Nick, tell me this, when you got into the business, what's the biggest thing that surprised you about the real estate business? From you grew up around it, you knew kind of a little bit about what was going on, but what was one of the things that hit you in the face with, like, man, I did not realize this?
I'd have to say just how much like there's a lot more collaboration than I thought there'd be. I thought it'd be more of like a cutthroat, like this is all me, but it's more working together, sharing knowledge, and that's a good part of it that I like.
Yeah, and especially at Remax. I mean, you guys have. I love the situation they have going on at Remax because everybody over there wants to win, no doubt about it. Everybody in that building and the buildings around it want to win, but there is a lot of group and collaboration and just cheerleading that goes on amongst Remax with all the different agents. I've always found that to be a unique situation and something that you don't find everywhere, do you, Tammy?
Oh, no, definitely not. I do feel like we have a very, very unique situation here, even among Remax offices, because I've traveled and been to many, many conferences, and you just don't find what we have here. The willingness of people to share and to teach and to learn, it's not like anything I've ever seen.
And the business is changing, right? And it's always changing. I shouldn't say that it's just changing today, but with the introduction of artificial intelligence, with all the different things that are coming out and the different tools for people to use, it's certainly becoming a much different business. And so, being able to kind of react to that and having some young blood around, I think, has got to be fun, right?
Oh, definitely, because I feel like I don't know what I don't know, and he knows it. So, yeah.
So Nick, you've had a couple closings, so you've got a little bit of momentum, and you got some more coming. Tell us a little bit about some of the listings you have out there right now.
So they are mostly lots. They're all decently flat, kind of next to each other. So they're just looking to be built on, really.
They're all in Portachima.
All in
Okay.
Portachima, yes.
Yeah, I live in Portachima. There's a bunch of development going on, second tier lots in Portachima. I think when the toll bridge went away,
Mm-hmm.
it just opened as little as, and I say as little. I think I actually built one of those columns with the money I put in. I think I actually built part of the bridge, but $3 every time you go across the bridge, it sounds like a little amount of money. When then you start adding it up, add $3, well, add $6 to your coffee if you want to go for coffee, add $6 to a bag of oranges if you want to go get that. It does do something to the mind. And when they did away with that and when they actually went to open up that bridge, I think it really opened up that area, didn't it?
It
Most
definitely
definitely.
did. Definitely. I mean, we live on that side of the bridge also. So, just going to work with 3 people in a household, that's $18 a day right there. So, for people that live here full time, it was kind of a hardship. If you're maybe coming down on the weekend and you're going across once on a Friday and once on a Sunday, it's not that bad. But when you're crossing it multiple times a day, it really can take a toll. So with the bridge fee gone, we're seeing all those second tier properties just explode.
And you know what? I love the location of both that area, Portachima, the villages, and the cool part about it when you build in there is it comes with a lot of amenities, doesn't it, Nick? I mean, it's like you get a bunch of value when you're building on a lot in there.
Yes, you get all the clubhouse accessibility, everything, uh, your pickleball courts, your pools, stuff like that. It's an amazing community area.
And so now, if you have lots for sale, let's say somebody comes along and they say, "Okay, I like that lot, I want to buy it, but I don't know anybody who can." I mean, I got to find a builder now, and I got to do that. Is that stuff you can help them with, right? I mean, you guys have been through this before, so you have the relationships with builders and that kind of thing to help somebody.
Yes, so we've got all these contacts that we can help send out just who you're looking for, really niche areas too. So
And I would imagine that did you get those from the cold calling that you did? Did you get those lot listings from some of that cold calling?
I did, yes.
Yeah, there's a ton of people who bought, I guess now, what, about 20 years ago when that golf course came around and you had to own a lot to actually belong to the golf course. And so they sold a bunch of those interior lots to people who really just wanted to golf and maybe had no intention of building down there. But what an opportunity right now with the growth at the lake, with all of these new businesses coming in town. They're all going to need places to stay. And a lot of these jobs, they're not necessarily looking for on the water homes. They're looking for just a nice, reasonable home they can build and enjoy the lake area.
That's true. And actually, this first quarter of this year, the off-water home sales has been almost double the lakefront home sales for the first
Wow.
quarter.
I mean, and that tells the story, doesn't it? I mean, and Tammy, I know you've represented. I mean, do you even know how many homes you represented over there in Portachima and the villages?
No,
It's been a lot.
it's been a lot. Yes.
So now, okay, so you guys are Nick, are you still at home or you got your own place? Are you
I'm still at home. Yeah.
So you guys get 24/7 access to each other. So now mom can come along and ask you about a deal at night. She can, this has got to be great.
I wouldn't really use great, but it's got ups and downs.
Yeah, that's what my son says too. He's like, "Can you turn off work mode for a little bit?" And I was like, "No, I really can't. I mean, that's kind of what I do." But
On the flip side, though, I'm like, all right, it's 9:00. I just finished my last email. I'm gonna sit down and watch some TV. And he comes along and he's like, "Can you help me with this contract?" And I'm like, "Sure."
Sure, I will. Sure, I will. Yeah, that's exactly what we say. That's awesome. Well, guys, look, I just think it's great that you guys have decided to work together. I mean, I think working with your family is one of the coolest things going. And it's got to be fun when you guys can, I saw you guys at a social last week, so you're out together at socials. You really get to spend some quality time together. And Nick, I mean, she can help you along the way. She's seen a few deals. So, I mean, you got to make sure she's still on your team over there.
Luckily, he's my favorite son.
That always helps.
I only have one.
That always helps. Hey, listen, guys, thank you so much for joining me on the LOZ Podcast Network. We love getting the story about just people working with their families. We're going to have a couple other real estate agents on who are doing the same thing. So I'm having a good time kind of getting all the stories and seeing how it works with everyone. But if they need you, Nick particular, Tammy, you've been in plenty of business. Let's get Nick some business. Nick, how do they contact you if they want to get a hold of you to either list or help them buy a home at the lake?
You can visit my website, Nick Rosenthal at francampbell.com, or my phone number, 573-552-2919.
He is actually, he's having an open house this weekend. He should tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe somebody wants to come
Where's
visit
the open
him.
house going to be, Nick?
This Saturday, the open house will be at 290 Huckleberry Hill Drive. It's from 10 to 12. It's a lovely house. Love the dock, love the house itself. So come on by.
And if you guys are looking for how to find that, you go right into the LOZ app and he'll be listed right there. You'll see Nick's picture. You'll see his listing. It'll give you a map on how to get there. So always check the LOZ app for all the new open houses going on each weekend. And make sure you get with the Frank Campbell team because they'll help you buy or sell whatever it is you need. And guys, thanks so much for joining us today. And we will be right back after these messages.